He is well read and has a special interest in foreign affairs. He was at the helm of Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad for 15 years. He is seen as a team builder and commands a strong following in the student community. He was Saha Sarkaryava with RSS before taking their new responsibility. But today, during our Hota session, Dattaji was there, but not many people knew. He is so humble. He came and sat in one of the corners. Nobody knew he was taking notes. That is the humbleness of Sangha. And that is what, and nobody, till I went and spoke to Dattaji, some people noticed. Otherwise, that is the simplicity which we all want to have. Now, I will invite Dattaji to say a few, his thought about the reinvigorating Hindu organizational strength and catapulting Hindu resurgence.
Namaskar to everyone on the dais and of the dais in the hall. The outset, before beginning my presentation, I would like to remind that today is an important day, not only because this World Hindu Congress version 3 has been inaugurated, but one more thing. Today is the martyrdom day of Guru Tegh Bahadur Singh Ji. This day, November 24th in 1675, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji sacrificed his life for the protection and upholding of Dharma. He gave up his life for the great cause of the freedom of practicing Dharma by an individual the way he feels fit and the way he chooses. And on behalf of all of you and all the entire Hindu community, I bow my head in the memory of revered Guru Tegh Bahadur. Sisters and brothers, Hindu Dharma, Hindu Samaj, Hindu culture, and put together all these, we can say Hindutva, today is much talked about, and Hindutva is, as it has been told while informing about the topic of the session, a period of resurgence is taking place. It has already started. Today, there is a new awakening among Hindus, and also there is an increased, newfound interest about all that is Hindutva, whether it is Hindu Dharma, culture, society, people, history, you name anything. There is a newfound interest, and it is increasing all over the world by people who are not born as Hindus also. The examples of quoted are, see, yoga is practiced in so many countries, and June 21st has been declared as the International Yoga Divas, Yoga Day by the United Nations. Ayurveda is being practiced. Sanskrit language, the Vedas, the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, and many other our texts are today being studied, researched, and number of people are writing about it. And a few years ago, the Newsweek magazine of United States published an article with a caption with the title, "We are all Hindus now." We are all Hindus now. Who is declaring? It is not the Hindus who have been born as Hindus, not them, but the people who are not Hindus by birth, but they have choose to follow Hindu dharma, the Hindu practices, Hindu religion, Hindu yoga, Ayurveda, etc. The Newsweek published that article and it made waves. Philip Goldberg came out with another book, American Vedas. So I do not want to go into the examples of these things, how there is a increased appreciation of Hindu dharma and culture. The Hindu dharma, Samaj and culture have passed through the test of fire, which usually any organization or the movement or the society has to face. Generally, it is said that upahas, virod, and sweetkart. There was apathy, ridicule, denigration, neglect, and whatnot. All that was Hindu was considered to be a thing to be denigrated of. The people who are to be ridiculed, a culture that should be neglected, ignored. And then a period was also there, simultaneously, of course. There was opposition, hatred, bashing. Hindus and the Hindu culture, Hindu dharma have experienced it. They have faced this also. All those things have not been over, but the thing is, the another phase has also started. As Swami Vijnanand in the morning, he was telling about the acceptability, the respectability, and the visibility of all that is Hindu. Today, there are many organizations, fora, associations, bodies all over the world in different countries. As just now, Guna Maheshanji has gave the example of Australia and New Zealand. Hindus have formed organizations, associations, and various sampradayas and their followers are also working. The temples and temple goers, their associations. So these things are being experienced. The Hindus have felt the need of getting organized. When Swami Vivekananda returned after his successful tour of the Western countries, when he came to Bharat, somebody asked Swamiji, "It's all good, but you have gave so many ideas and you have shown the path to the Western world, the people there, what they should do, what they should learn from us, the Hindus. Is there anything that we have to learn from them?" That came the answer by Swamiji. Yes, the organization. Hindus It is not that they do not have a history of having organization, but down the lane in the history, it was an unfortunate chapter that we lost faith, we lost the way, the path, and the dire need of organizing Hindus was emphasized by Swamiji and many others. And as we have seen in the morning session, the felicitation of Bharat Sevashram, the Pujaniya Sarsanga Chalakji, the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, all these was also here. So the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh or the Bharat Seva Sangh, Ramakrishna Ashram, many started not only thinking, but they started organizing the Hindu society for the resurgence of the Hindu community. One thing is, we all know that organization is strength, the unity is strength. Sangatan mein shakti hai. Sanghe shakti kalayuge. Why organization is required? One is to have the strength to deliver what we are destined to defend ourselves, to protect the weak who are good, to change the strong who are bad, to strengthen the strong who are also good, and to spurn who are bad and eternally bad. Dharma Karya requires all these aspects. Strong should protect the weak, defend the weak, and see they become stronger. There is a Sanskrit Subhashit, Vidya Vivadaya, Dhanam Madaya, Shakti Paresham Paripidanaya, Kalasya Sadho Viparitametat, Jnanaya Danaya cha Rakshanaya. Using Vidya, the knowledge, utilization of wealth, proper use of strength, the good and the bad, they do it in different ways. The evil, the wicked, will use the knowledge for unnecessary debate, unending debate. No light, only sound. And the wicked use the wealth, dhanam madaya, for their ego satisfaction. Shakti paresham paripidanaya. The strength is being used by the wicked, the bad people, the evil ones, to disturb and destroy others. Whereas the good use all these three for the betterment of life, for the evolution of man. Knowledge, for the knowledge sake, that will shed light, show the way. Wealth for dana. Those who do not have, those who are unfortunate, should have a better life. For that, the wealth has to be utilized, the dana. And the strength has to be used for protecting the weak, rakshanaya. So, sangatan mein shakti hai. So, if it is for this, then that strength is useful and it will be helpful for the human society. The organizations, they have been formed in different parts of the world, as I have mentioned. The organization's success depends upon the individuals who play the role there. What is their input? How do they contribute to the organization's success? Their quality, their effort, their hard work, their virtues, or the other way, the vices, ego, the selfishness, the aspirations, whether they are strengthening the organization or they are using the organization. It depends on the individuals who are there in the organization. And many organizations, they have become organizations and they have started their work, but they are not self-sufficient. They are weak. They are unable to deliver what they have planned or what they have dreamt of. So increasing their strength requires hard work and proper planning of the organization and a good teamwork. Not only that, I just know HOTA example has been mentioned here, and we all know that networking, collaborating, cooperating with other organizations, they are also this is also very much required in making an organization success. Now, many organizations rarely share their good activities with others. There is a lack of communication, lack of information, and failure to disseminate information and lack of coordination that has led to hurting the expected resurgence. Unwilling to cope up with these has led to lack of unity also. And as far as the organizations and various associations that have been formed in different parts of the country, parts of the world, there have been some experiences which I would like to share with you, which we all know. I only remind them so that we think, we contemplate over those issues. The institute, the associations, organizations, and forum in different parts of the world have been on the basis of language, sect, caste, subcaste, gurus, pantha, sampradaya, old and new. All are Hindus, but everybody is hammering on his or her organization's work. So there are Hindus who are organizing on the basis of language, and all their energies are spent on that. Is it right or wrong? I'm not saying that is not correct. The thing is, in this diversity of organizations, the Hindu is lost. So remembering Hindu and having these various forum and associations and all. So if that is the larger goal, the larger objective, that should not be forgotten. So that's why many a time the diversity of Hindu society has also led to disunity in many places. Hindus have a rare phenomenon, something unique. In some places it happens so that somebody or a group of people think that there are so many organizations, so we should have an umbrella organization. Okay, wonderful. So they will have umbrella organization. And a similar idea comes to the mind of somebody else also. And they also start another umbrella organization. And there is one umbrella organization and another umbrella organization and a third umbrella organization. And then the fourth person will say there should be a federation of these umbrella organizations. So why this happens? Hindus have this unique phenomenon that they are organizing, but at the same time they are separating themselves. So this we will have to think of when we come together, whether the larger goal is for when we have an organization, whether the larger goal is forgotten. When we come together as many organizations, whether our organizational behavior, our larger dream, our day-to-day activities, whether they are in sync with the others, whether there is a mutual problem, contradictiousness, this we have to work out and iron out. Otherwise, we are organizing, but we are disuniting. So this issue has came up in many countries. That's what our workers have, our karyakartas have experienced. And there is another phenomenon, that is organizations before making any impact get split. And the associations and organizations, they get divided. Why? Again, because of the ego, differences, absence of teamwork, selfishness. So these are traits of the people who have come to make an impact through an organization. They have lost the path. They have lost the way. Then there are some other observations which we have to address in the future so that the resurgence of Hindu society takes place. It gets fashioned, it gets shaped. There are language organizations in many countries. Marathi is in Kannada, Telugu, etc., many. The second generation, third generation youngsters are unable to relate with the language and they are not speaking the language. So what will happen? Then there is another thing. Nowadays it is getting reduced, but still the remnants of that are disturbing. That is the impact of the secularization of Indian polity has led to secular approach to the so-called secular approach, the pseudo-secular approach in those associations and organizations. To the extent of that, even the festivals, Hindu festivals, we have Deepavali or Ganesh Puja or many other things. We want to celebrate it in a different fashion so that the religious factor is not there. So let us not let us not bring religion into that. So we want to celebrate festivals in a Western style. So we want to secularize. So that has happened in many cases. Now, there are organizations and forums in Bharat. There are linguistic states. So we have the linguistic organizations. Then the linguistic state is divided into two states in Bharat. Then the people there also get into two states. And they will be forming two organizations again immediately. So whatever happens in Bharat will have its echo, its reflection there. So we are organizing, but we are again getting disunited. This is what is happening. Then there are sectarian religious leadership, unfortunately. Either not allowing the members of the organization to interact with others so that we want to safeguard our flock, or poaching takes place. You know what is poaching. So in order to increase the my flock, poaching from others. So that again results in mutual animosity. So we are organizing, but we are getting disunited. So this is a contradiction that we are experiencing in different parts of the world. Then there is misunderstanding and misinterpretation of the Hindu Dharma, Sanskriti, etc. by our own organizations. The children are unable to understand. The next generation they cannot be answered, their questions are not properly answered. Now there are absence of books that are about Hindu religion, Hindu dharma, Hindu Sanskriti, Hindu itihas, Hindu history, etc. in libraries and in bookstores. After 9/11 incident in America, in many stores, in bookstores in America, there are books on various faiths, religions, Islam, Christianity, many others. But our friends and many academicians, they found that the books on Hindu history, Hindu culture, they were missing. There was no proper book. There was a newfound interest in understanding the religion, culture, etc. in American society after the 9/11, but the books about Hindus not found. Now, another thing is challenges practicing Hindu rituals and Hindu dharma in many countries. There are problems. So I need not mention the names of the countries. There is a problem to practice these Hindu rituals in Hindu dharma. Then there is another serious thing, that is a absence of culturally based counseling. See, in Hindu society, saints, sages, astrologers, temples, families, they have taken care of the psychological needs of the Hindu persons, men and women of different age groups. It is not that always it is the medicine and the medical health care that has taken care of. The therapeutic cure, the psychological counseling, that is very much required in the present day, in current times, in various parts of the country, among Hindus, particularly the younger ones. But where they have to go? Whether Hindu organizations can cater to the need of this thing, we have to think over. Then there are, from the other side, time is up. Now, about three, four other important threats and challenges which we all know. I only mention them. The proselytization activity, the conversion in many countries, the suppression of human rights of Hindus, Hindutva in academia has become the condition of or the presence of Hindutva in academic circles is not up to the mark. It's not having the required impact. Department of Hindu Studies, Gita, Veda Studies, the Bharatiya language departments, Zulu of South Africa can have a department in many universities in the Western world, but the Indian Bharatiya language departments are not there. Presence in media is now slowly increasing because of the political situation in Bharat. Effective political voice in many countries. So this is the long list of challenges for the Hindu organizations. That's why strengthening of Hindu organizations is the need of the hour. What we can do, one, that is the Hindu organizations will have to think of sharing information, coordinating, cooperating, and collaborating among themselves, better resource management of theirs, and avoid duplication. The one is doing, the other is doing, the third sees that both are have become successful. Why don't I become successful? So the third also does the same thing. So this duplication will lead us nowhere. So organizations will have to have these strict rules among themselves so that if there is a better network, better coordination, then we can avoid the duplication. Then the second thing is empowering the karyakartas of the organization. Better training modules. thought-wise, intellectually. We have to empower them. And then the organizational behavior has to be inculcated. The teamwork, the planning, division of labor, the better organizational behavior of each organization will definitely yield required results, we all know. And the third thing is address the youth, the children, the next generation, their language, their understanding of technology, their understanding of life and its goals, their questions have to be answered. All these things are very crucial in order to address the issue of Hindu resurgence in future. That's why I feel these issues have to be taken up with utmost urgency. And with all these things, one more thing that I would like to emphasize is the Hindu society. It's very the great and noble ideals of Hindu society of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Tyaga and Seva, integral approach to man, machine, environmental, and lifestyle, the sustainable development. All these great ideas are there. Hindu society, Hindutva, Hindu culture have contributed immensely to these areas. But if these things have to be practiced, implemented, make an impact on humanity, then the strong organization with reinvigorated strength, power, they are required to make the Hindu communities better community, wealth-wise, knowledge-wise, behavior-wise, and organization-wise. So that is required. That's why what has been told in the morning session and in the previous Congress also, that is working together separately has to be practiced, has to be enjoyed. So that's why reinvigorating the Hindu organizational strength for catapulting the Hindu resurgence is the need of the hour. For that, there has to be a relook towards our own organizations, and there has to be certain agenda to address the challenges. So these are the points that I wanted to make as a presentation before you. Namaskar, Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Dattaji. You stopped 27 seconds before I was going to get up. You did very good. Now, I will invite Sri Madhu Pandit Dasaji, who is a highly esteemed spiritual leader and a humanitarian with over 4 decades of dedicated service to society. He is distinguished alumnus of prestigious IIT Bombay. His impactful initiatives have improved the lives of millions, ranging from remarkable temples and cultural complexes, showcasing Bharat's rich heritage, to promoting Hindu Dharma and Bharatiya Samskriti globally. He is renowned for founding the Akshaya Patra feeding program, which has served an astounding 4 billion meals, 4 billion meals, benefiting children and communities both in Bharat and abroad. His remarkable contributions have earned him prestigious awards, including Padma Shri, Gandhi Peace Prize, Nike Asia Award, and BBC Global Food Champion Award, recognizing his transformative work. I request Madhu Pandit Dasa ji to share his views on integrating Hindu organization strength for Hindu resurgence.
Hare Krishna to everyone. I am humbled and honored to be in the midst of eminent personalities like Mohan Bhagwat, Dattatreya ji, and my other co-panelist Mitranand ji, and many other selfless leaders who have taken up this cause of Hinduism as their life and soul. Dattaji's thought-provoking speech has given a great start to this discussion on Hindu resurgence through organizational strength. World Hindu Congress, this is the third one, itself is a pointer that there is indeed, as Dattatreya said, there's a natural wave of Hindu resurgence. Though we are having this World Hindu Congress only once in 5 years, with the speed with which the world is running today, I think that is a long gap. We should have at least once in 3 years the World Hindu Congress. If we all desire, we need to come together again and again for greater churning of the ocean of Sanatana Dharma. Dattatreya ji has enunciated some key problems, challenges that we are facing, which is weakening the combined forces of Hinduism. While he was speaking, I had this realization that our Hinduism should be seen as a tree. It has trunks, it has branches, it has twigs, it has leaves, and more than everything, it has roots. So if each of us have this vision of Hinduism, we can maintain our diversity and yet be united, knowing well that our roots are the same. In a way, the various paramparas, various schools of thoughts of our Vedanta, they're like different branches maintaining a transcendental variety of thoughts. And ultimately, one thing if we see, all these schools of thoughts agree upon the common background of practices, traditions, customs that we call as, which we all practice as Hindus. These conferences are a great opportunity to discuss various challenges and opportunities faced by the Hindu community and propose resolutions, practical resolutions. What is the need for this Hindu resurgence? Our Sanatana Dharma is universal and eternal way of life. We all know Ram Rajya. It was not a dream. It was there. It worked. The principles of Sanatana Dharma, if properly followed, then definitely there is no space for envy, hatred, anger. Love, peace, compassion were prevalent in such a society, which helped the inhabitants achieve progress in all aspects of their life. There is a need for resurgence, especially because we are today very, very, very far away from these past glories of Ramarajya. Hence, we need resurgence. There's much Sanatana Dharma can give to this world. The practice of Sanatana Dharma in society has declined in modern era due to various reasons. Envious of Bharat's material richness, there were constant invasion on our country, temples were destroyed, gurukuls were dismantled, seed of inferiority was sown in people's minds, a sense of denigration, as Dattatreya ji said, about their own community customs and traditions, so that they could create a rift within the community and drive people away from Hindu Dharma. It's happening even to this day. Hindu resurgence means Bharat has to get back all that has been lost over the centuries. We should get back. Then we are successful. We can successfully say Hindu's resurgence has completed its journey. In modern times, there has been false propagation of Sanatana Dharma by media, powerful people, influencers, resulting in a dilemma in the minds of common Hindus about their own religion. Many of the customs, tradition, practice of Hinduism are being undermined by the anti-Hindus. We are in this vulnerable situation. Hindu resurgence can happen only if all the Hindus and Hindu organization can join together. It is our very philosophy that we all agree that there are always two forces on this earth, the Asuric and the godly forces. The present time is no exemption. Hindus' resurgence, therefore, also means that all the godly forces should join hands together to face all the challenges that Hinduism is facing today all over the world. Over the years, as families became nuclear and disjointed, the practice of Sanatana Dharma and bonding in the family has reduced. Due to absence of guidance from elders, due to nuclear family, a majority of Hindus started neglecting their culture and traditions, terming them as superstition and myths due to lack of proper education of our Hindu principles, values, and samskaras to a rational modern youth. On the other hand, they are attracted by faiths, other practices from other cultures and communities in the name of modernity. Generations are passing by, and this cultural gap is widening each generation. Therefore, Hindu resurgence also means to ensure that the Hindu parents have more children and move away from the nuclear family to families with at least 3 children. The Sanatana Dharma and the Hindu way of life has the solution to all problems of this modern world filled with anxiety, despair, hatred, and disharmony. What is the necessity and the merits of an organized approach? As Dattatreya said, our Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he also said, purity is a force. Individual purity is a force. Everything happens miraculously. Spiritual energy comes. Empowerment comes to unite by being selfless. That is the meaning of purity. Very beautifully, Dattatreya said that there are some people who work for the organization, and there are some people who use the organization. This is a very important observation. So this constitutes purity. Individual purity and collective purity of the organization. Collective purity means there should be a sincere purpose to unite. A sincere purpose to see that we are a single tree. I can spend my time as a branch, as a leaf, but I have to understand that I am part of this big tree. And such a tree will grow like anything all over the world, giving shelter to people from all over the country who are not even Hindus, born Hindus. An organized approach is essential to bring about a significant transformation in any sector. Therefore, we need to develop a systematic and a structured approach for Hindu revival. The kind of organized approach will provide an opportunity to think effectively and facilitate clarity of thought with respect to what is the current reality, what is the vision, and what is the process to reach that vision. Such an approach will result in a structured roadmap and consistent progress. Taking one step at a time and accomplishing it will instill confidence and motivate us to reach the desired goal of Hindu Renaissance. Organized efforts will help us build our potential and become a larger and a stronger worldwide Hindu community, thus making it easier for us to deter any kind of attacks on our community from the enemies. It is important for all Hindu organizations to take necessary steps, join hands, and work together to counter our common enemies. Integration through organizational strengths. When strong individual organizations collaborate, it will act as a force multiplier for the development of our Hindu community. Integrating organization strength means to effectively combine the skills of individual organizations, their strengths and talents in technological, social, political, and other areas of human activity towards the cause of Hinduism. When we leverage inter-organizational strengths and capabilities, it will help in capacity building. Inter-organizational networking will help develop strategic plans from various perspectives to achieve our higher purpose. Every Hindu organization may have different methodologies and practices, but we are culturally and civilizationally, we are the same. There are diverse approaches, but a singular vision. These varied approaches are actually beneficial because they help build diversity and bring richness to our culture and heritage. Integration of Hindu organizations should begin at the grassroots levels and grow to the global level. When there is a visible progress on a local and a regional scale, the bottom-up approach will influence policies and actions at the higher levels in favor of the Hindu community. The proof of this concept is what RSS has achieved as an organization at the grassroots level. If not for the organizational effort of RSS in the last few decades, 7, 8, 10 decades, our Bharatiya culture would have been almost finished. We have to appreciate the mammoth service rendered by every Swayam Sevak who are unsung heroes of our Hindu culture. Let us offer our, why unsung? Why I say unsung? Because nobody actually, they are behind the scene in all these things and nobody actually sings their glories. It is important for us to give our appreciation, gratitude, really speaking, with all the kind of forces that are working. If not for this RSS, our Bharatiya culture would have been finished. It's a fact. Collaboration of all sizes of Hindu organization, whether large or small, will immensely benefit our community. Such collaborative approaches will result in greater synergies. Integration of specialized setups like research and advocacy foundations, legal firms, media, advertising agency, art schools, Sanskrit universities, and tourism sector will contribute to strengthening our community through various projects and initiatives. Inspiring exceptionally talented and influential people like celebrities, especially youth, to participate for the Hindu cause can be another integrating strategy. Every individual will have an icon or a role model they admire and emulate. When these icons endorse Hindu Dharma, their followers will accept and practice our Dharma. Such influencers can create a ripple effect and expand the Hindu community. We also have to effectively use the technology to create educational videos, explaining the rational basis for many of our worship, deity worships, the cultural practices, festivals, so that that will generate interest in the people across the globe, irrespective of their culture and faith, to inculcate the Hindu way of life. My prayers for success. Hindu revival is a need of the hour for the welfare of our community, society, state, nation, and the world. Our rich culture, tradition, values, and dharmas are the greatest gifts we can give to our future generations, to this world. As spiritual leaders, I am confident that integrating organization strengths and using a structured approach under the direction and guidance of saints, sadhus, and spiritual leaders will boost the resurgence of Hindu Dharma. We are laying the foundation for this intergenerational project that can be carried forward by younger generation with even greater enthusiasm and determination. I pray to Lord Krishna and all our acharyas to shower their blessings upon us and help us become successful in our sacred endeavor to revive Hindu Dharma to its original glories. I once again thank you all for being part of this conference and giving me an opportunity to share some thoughts. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sri Madhu Pandit Dasaji. The next, Swamiji, I'll introduce, then you can. Swami Mitrananda ji is very active, very energetic. And he is with, organizes all the youth programs. So he is, very. So Swamiji is the mentor for Chinmaya Mission Chennai and Northeast Bharat, known for initiating the youth empowerment program. That's why he runs away. And training over 600 young individuals worldwide in Bharatiya knowledge traditions. Traveled 35 countries to impart wisdom of Gita, Upanishads, and Vedantic texts. He spearheaded the combined efforts of Vidya Bharati and Chinmaya Mission to develop history books, which is very, very important in Bharat, for classes 6, 7, and 8, including Radiant Bharat, Resilient Bharat, and Resurgent Bharat. And today he is discussing on resurgence. Additionally, he founded the Chinmaya Academy for Civil Services, dedicated to nurturing future leaders for effective governance, which is very much required in our country, Bharat. Thank you, Swamiji. Yeah.
Gurubhyo Namaha. My salutations to Dattaji, Madhu Panditji, and to everyone present here, Pranam. And of course, to my friend and Guru Bhai, Vijnananandji. Thank you for such a great initiative. We all admire you for it. I'm the last speaker, so I'll start on a lighter note. There were a group of young people, youngsters, were driving a car. And that happened to be a road safety week. So those who drive safely, following every signal and everything, will be awarded. This group of young people were driving and police was watching them. Maybe sent a drone or something. They tracked them down. At one particular point, they stopped and they said, hey, you guys were brilliant. You have to be awarded for driving very well. And the police took and gave a purse of 5,000 rupees. So the boy who was driving took that money, very happy. And the police should have gone. He asked a question: "What are you going to do with this money?" The boy said, "I'll apply for license. I'll apply for license." Police was shocked. The other guy sitting in the next to him in the front seat, he said, "Sir, don't pay attention to him. He speaks like this whenever he's drunk." As if these two were not enough, the guy who was sleeping in the back seat, he woke up and he said, "I told you we can't go too far on a stolen car." Now, coming to the point, yeah, though it could be a joke, sometimes we Hindu organizations do the same. Someone drives well, and we should appreciate it. Sometimes we criticize. One organization criticizing another organization. Going well. It needs to be encouraged because together only we can survive. Otherwise, we'll be done. So each organization needs to appreciate. Don't pay attention to him. He speaks like that when he's drunk. Unwanted. How many times on various organizations, they don't agree with your ideology? Sanatan Dharma is all inclusive. Like morning Bhagavad Ji was telling. Some people believe in Ishvara, some don't. Some believe in Veda, some don't. All inclusive. Why should my belief alone has to be there? When we reach the end, appreciate the path you walked. But let's not criticize anyone else. This unwanted criticism doesn't bring Hindu organizations together. First and foremost, to show, to demonstrate the strength of Hindu organizations should appreciate each other's work. This is mandatory. If we do this and we bring our strength, the results would be completely different. For this, we need to remember Narasimha Avatar. Narasimha Avatar. What was Hiranyakashipu's fault? That he has to be killed? What was Hiranyakashipu's fault? You know what he said? "I'm the only God. If you worship any other God, I'll kill you." Sounds familiar? Sounds familiar? This is the only book. If you follow anything else, you will be killed. I am the only God and you should worship only me. Narasimha has to come because there was one Hiranyakashipu. We have two today. We need to invoke that Narasimha. You know how that Lord would manifest? That strength is needed. Otherwise, these two are powerful enough. We need to be together. Each organization is that small child, Prahalad. Each organization is a small child, Prahalad. When we unite, when we demonstrate together, Narasimha will manifest. We have underestimated our strength of togetherness. That's why we feel weak. Time. And again, we need to demonstrate what we are together. This is absolutely important, mandatory that Hindu brothers and sisters understand what these organizations together, what is their power, what is their strength. Once people see the strength what we have together, once we are able to demonstrate the strength together, everybody will be in their place. Like Dr. Abdul Kalam used to say, strength respects strength. Strength respects strength. We need to show that strength. We need to demonstrate that strength together. Few years back, when we used to ask somebody, I interact with youth. So when we ask some youngsters, name somebody who has served very well. Love, compassion, people who have served. Young people in India, Mother Teresa. That's all you know. What about Amritanandamayi? Much more service done. What about ISKCON? Madhu Pandit ji, 30 lakh people is the food supply today?
4 billion.
Huh?
23 lakhs per day.
I said 30 lakhs, 23, because you're 23 lakhs and they have a target to reach. End of probably this year or next year to get it to 30 lakhs. Feeding 30 lakh children every day. That's just one organization. What about Dharmasthala? What about so many Annadhanams which happen regularly, so quietly? If we calculate that together, what would be our strength in feeding people? Dattaji is sitting here, Bhagwatji is sitting there, Vidya Bharati. They have 26,000 schools, one institute. Now imagine all in other Hindu organizations together. What is the educational schools? Think whether it is healthcare, the hospitals, free medicine care, all organizations together. Please think. We have been serving so silently and people did not notice it. Propaganda was not there. And some people achieved only through propaganda. Ours is content, but we have not shown it to people. So we did one program in Chennai some time back. We started and it is continuing. We started Hindu Spiritual Service Fair exhibition. We started this in 2009. Different Hindu organizations were allowed to come and display what work they do. Exhibition, that's all. And it's a fair. When we started it in 2009, there were 35 organizations. Today, few hundred organizations. Put up the stall for 5 days, we show. Come and watch. And when a person walks into each stall, and when you come out in the end, you have a data of all these organizations together, what they serve. People are stunned. Visibility is very important of what we are doing. We are not projecting something. We are speaking out facts together what we do. This togetherness, demonstrating, showing people, appreciating openly will strengthen us. That strength is important. If we have that strength, yes, and we need to strengthen in in various ways. Fortunately, we could start one. Again, Vijnananandji and the team came together for a very nice initiative of getting few Hindu organizations together. That's what you saw in the beginning, with a picture where Dattaji and few of us were there. That was one of the meetings where we brought 10 Hindu organizations together, started sharing ideas, started planning together. And it is the same point, moving in the same direction separately. Each one, what we should do, and taken up responsibilities. And that way we have started. We have just taken baby steps in showing the strength of Hindu organizations in the field of academics. That's called VAHA, World Association of Hindu Academicians. Because that one area we are lacking. Anybody can come and make a statement and go. We need people in that field to go. This is a wonderful opportunity to get various academicians involved in these organizations together. We had a couple of conferences, and today we can say, still a baby step. Our vision is to have 25, 30,000 academicians together, but we have reached a few hundred now. Today we have, through VAHA, few hundred Hindu academicians. Constantly we hold once a year, 1 or 2 seminars collectively. Now this is an area of showing strength, demonstrating strength. If there is an issue raised on Hindu subject, we have academicians to answer that. If someone says this is unscientific, we have people to express it as scientific. So this is an area we need to strengthen. I have a suggestion to Dattaji here. Dattaji, you should speak to all our organizations again, that they should start working like what we did on academicians. They should start working on legal team. Legal advisors, every organization should have. We should start putting them together. Imagine 500, 600 lawyers together. And if there's someone says something wrong, derogatory, 600 people can stand up next day. We don't have the support. So in showing this, if they just get to know that Hindu lawyers have come together and it's a huge number waiting. If you take up something, there are people ready to stand up. So this is again another area we can, just like how VAHA, we can come together because lawyers are there. Legal advisors are there in every organization. Collect them together, and that will again start demonstrating the strength we have. Visibly, people need to be people have to see us strong. Then we can achieve. So these are small, small steps which we can take up to do. And my last point, I'll go with what Madhu Panditji said. Everything we have lost, we have to reclaim. Everything. We are talking about 5 trillion economy. 5 trillion economy, we are heading there. Of course, it's a great achievement. But remember, 45 trillion were looted from us. Reclaim that. We need to, our vision should be there that we will reclaim everything we have lost. We will reclaim our position as Vishwaguru. That is our position. We guided the world. Let us reclaim that. It is not going to happen easy. I'm not saying reclaim POK. I consider that is done. It will happen in our lifetime. I'm looking far beyond that. We have to get that far, far beyond. Now, last point. This reclaiming dream will take time. Few things can happen now. This dream, every Hindu organization should hand it over to the next generation saying, you carry it on and run. We are doing what we did our bit. Hand it over to someone and saying, you carry it. Let this also be a common program that every Hindu organization passes on the spirit to sustain this quest to reclaim everything we have got. If we have that quest to reclaim, one thing is for sure, we will not lose what we have. What is existing will not be lost. That desire to reclaim is very important. And one day, the younger generation and the younger generation can reclaim it. Thank you very much.
Bharat Mata ki. This is the first time an important thing is going to happen. I'm going to invite Professor Nachiketa Tiwari ji. He is the coordinator of Hindu Education Board, World Association of Hindu Academicians WAHA, and Hindu Educational Conference. He is currently heading the Department of Design in IIT Kanpur. Professor Tiwari has steered the design and launch of Master of Arts MA in Hindu Studies program at over 25 universities across Bharat. Several elements of policy document on Bharat's higher education system that he developed are in Bharat's NEP. I remember Professor giving a lecture in front of Kalyan for NEP, and I happen to be part of it. He serves on several national committees, including those related to NCERT, technical terminologies, and UGC. Professor Tiwari also serves as the visitors nominee to selection committee for 30 plus NITs. In the past, he has served as the visitors nominee and BHU's executive council. Now I won't say what it is, he is going to describe and do it. Thank you, Dr. Tiwari ji.
So, this is the third World Hindu Congress. And in the first and the second World Hindu Congress, we never had a resolution or a declaration. So, this is the first declaration amongst last three World Hindu Congresses because the organizing committee and more importantly, the overall Hindu community across the world, there's a strong sense that there should be a strong declaration in context of a lot of denigration which is happening to what is Hindu, what is Sanatan Dharma, what is Hindutva, and etc. etc. So I will read the declaration verbatim. The first declaration, so it's declaration number 1. It's declaration about terms Hindu, Hindutva, and Sanatan Dharma. The declaration states, in the term Hindu Dharma, the first word, that is Hindu, is an unbounded word. It signifies all that is Sanatan or eternal. And then the second word is Dharma, which means that which sustains. Thus, Hindu Dharma signifies all that which eternally upholds everything, an individual, a family, a community, a society, and even nature, both animate and inanimate. In contrast, please pay attention to this one. In contrast, the word Hinduism is totally different because it is suffixed with an ism. The term ism is defined as per Merriam-Webster's dictionary as an oppressive and discriminatory attitude or belief. In the mid 19th century, United States of America, the phrase the isms was used to collectively refer to radical social reform movements and various non mainstream spiritual or religious movements in a derogatory manner. The term Hinduism should be understood in such a context. Please also note that the term Hinduism was introduced in the popular lexicon by Sir Monier Williams via his handbook, Hinduism. The handbook was published in 1877 by, please note, the Society for Promoting Christian Knowledge. This intellectually dishonest terminology is the seed behind the vicious anti Hindu narratives over the last 150 years. It is for such reasons that many of our elders preferred the term Hindutva over Hinduism, as the former is a more accurate term since it reduces the gamut of all that the word Hindu implies. We agree with them, and we should do the same. Hindutva is not a complicated word, it simply means Hinduness. Others have used the term Sanatan Dharma, often abbreviated in contemporary times as Sanatan. Here, the term Sanatan works as an adjective indicating Hindu Dharma's eternal nature. However, in the present public discourse, many academicians and intellectuals regularly portray Hindutva as the antithesis of Hindu Dharma. That is, in extremely negative terms. Some of them argue because of their ignorance, but most are anti Hindutva because of their visceral hatred and biases against Hindu Dharma. Many politicians, driven by political agendas and personal prejudices, have also joined that group and are criticizing Sanatan Dharma or Sanatan with increasing regularity and vitriol. On behalf of the global Hindu community, the Third World Hindu Congress declares that such malicious criticism of Hindutva or Sanatan Dharma or Sanatan or Hindu Dharma actually targets the Hindu society and all that is beautiful, just, good, and noble. In reality, these are attacks against goodness itself. The World Hindu Congress strongly condemns such attacks and urges Hindus worldwide for the manifestation of Hindutva through organized global efforts and overcome those who are engaging in such anti-Hindu attacks and bigotry so that we ultimately emerge victorious. Bharat Mata Ki. So all those who support the resolution, please raise your hands and say a loud Om. Om. Dhanyavad. I think this concludes the session. Gunaji will conclude the session, but before that, I just wanted to make a small announcement with Gunaji's permission that once Gunaji has concluded the session, all should go to their, tomorrow there will be, of course, there will be breakfast, and after breakfast, kindly go to your respective halls by 9 a.m. At the latest so that all the sessions can start on time. Gunaji, dhanyavad.
Thank you, Professor Tiwari ji. I think we had a very wonderful grand panel session. Do you agree or not? And this is what we call Hindu researchers. Every topic that was discussed today, it made our energy to go up. Yeah. Thank you very much. See, exactly we were supposed to finish at 8 o'clock. Mine is 7:59. I think Swamiji will be happy with me. Thank you very much. Namaste. Have you good dinner and take rest. Thank you. Bye bye.